cut this one, adjust the camera angle so our heads are.
I'll just include it.
Ooh, that makes the lighting better. Ooh, that really warps the math. Because those are probably perfect squares.
Whoa.
It's not. They're kind of...
Coming through?
Filled out one card.
Oh, that's
There you go, cool.
perfectly sufficient.
All
We
right.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Steve, what's your name, man?
I'm Brooks.
Brooks, you too.
Guilty, good to meet you.
Guilty?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys have a cool name. Steven, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Andrew, awesome.
Good to meet you guys. Yeah. What's your YouTube channel?
It's called Tired and Old.
Hopefully you get a laugh. Okay. There you go.
Well, the first minute hasn't been too interesting for y'all, I wouldn't say.
Well, it was fairly. Well, let's see.
Intriguing for us.
We have to check them out. So.
Well, give them a little preface of what's going on.
Yeah,
What do we ask?
yeah. So, we just went up. We're at a coffee shop, a different one than Starbucks, and IHOP for that matter. What's the bridge between a coffee shop? Probably percentage sales. Coffee shop versus a restaurant.
Oh, okay.
Because Starbucks sells food too, but they're still known as a coffee shop.
Yeah.
So I guess it's percentage sales, just like the bar versus restaurant thing we were talking about.
We were having some pretty involved discussions, I would say. Important discussions.
Yeah, honestly, this has been a good session today so far, but
Which-
I wonder what that has to do with Joplin Avenue versus Starbucks.
Ooh.
You'd have to question it. Maybe
Yeah,
nothing.
the environment's nice.
Yeah, it's definitely a different
Sorry,
environment.
you can't see
We just
our
can't see
faces really.
anything.
We're almost like a
Can't-
silhouette.
Yeah, we're just silhouettes, which is fine. I mean, they can focus on what we're saying as opposed to
Ooh.
our cheekbones
You
structure.
miss all of our beauty that I'm just kidding.
You missed my mustache,
That's
which
true.
is probably good.
It's true. Should I put a flashlight on it and show it?
No. But anyway, so we're sitting here, and we were talking. We've been thinking. We were disappointed in ourselves because we can't come up with good questions to ask if a genie came out to us and wanted to know what would answer any three questions we have. I would say comment below, but as we've established, y'all don't do it. So, but ideally, you comment below.
There you go. So for those of you viewers that want to be a part of what just happened, just a bit, it wasn't. I don't know if it was clear enough. Just imagine.
Oh yeah, I did a terrible preface of
No,
what
I
actually
think.
occurred.
Well, here's the question though. Imagine that a genie were to come up to you and say, "Hey, I'm here," and then say, "I'll answer any three questions you want answered. Any three questions in the whole world. You can ask me any question. You can ask me about derogatory mathematics. No, I don't know. That's not even a thing.
Derogatory.
But you could ask.
Dude, by the way, it's on the topic of you, talking about your jokes and how they're not well received sometimes. They're sleepers, dude. I realize I sleep on your jokes. I'll laugh at I don't think you realize I'll laugh at your jokes 4 days later alone, or while I'm brushing my teeth. I'll literally laugh. What was I thinking about the other day that I was laughing about? Oh my gosh. When we were in Kansas City, when we were leaving and she was saying, "I love you." And what you said, I didn't laugh at the time, but you were like, "Much love." I was thinking about how funny that's one of the funniest things you've ever said. I think that's the funniest thing I ever heard.
Well,
Much love.
I guess there wasn't much love because they haven't texted us back. Yeah, you know who you are.
Yeah,
We're talking about
We're talking about
Piano Man and Sundance Boy.
the Rugrats.
There we go.
But
But yeah, Genie comes up to you and asks,
yeah.
"Hey."
Sorry, I
And
can't
no,
believe I
you're-
interrupted your important
No, that
with
was-
what I just said. Yeah, it was very. But anyway, I literally it had nothing to do with it. And go ahead. I think I was just laughing. Go ahead.
No, yeah, Genie just comes up and said, "I'll answer any three questions you have. What are your questions? You get 10 minutes to think about it. What questions do you want answered?" We were bouncing questions off, and Brooks actually is one of the few people that I don't think would ask this question. But I think a large majority of humans would ask what happens after death, or some form of that question. I'm not going to go too much into that. But yeah, we ended up approaching these two guys with two note cards. They gave us one back, so it's a 50-50 rating on that. No, I'm just kidding. No.
And here's when we left them. They were working on other stuff. And they were very warm and nice and fun.
Oh, yeah.
I think we both enjoyed their presence. I think they enjoyed ours
Yeah.
to some degree.
We met him. We might have to talk to him again before we get out of here.
Yeah. Well, one of them already hopped out, but one of them's putting in work with two computers actually. So he's he's a worker.
Wow.
But we told him about the channel too, and it'll be interesting to see if he checks this out. I think this is where the name Tired and Old is just perfect. I think this guy, by the way, picked the name of the channel, in case you guys were wondering. Perfect. Just literally, I just love it. I think people will love it. Anyway, and I think it's memorable, Tired and Old. It's just,
Yeah.
And it's also applicable. I mean, I think it's a good name for the question we asked. Like, what would you ask a genie?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
tired, and then to tell him, like, oh, our name's Tired and Old.
Yeah. Sure. And it's kind of funny because when you look at us, I don't think there's many people that immediately be like, he looks tired. Or, I mean, I guess I'm at a coffee shop, so these people might be like, oh, he looks tired. He's drinking a whole French. I mean, I already drank this whole French press, but it's been such an interesting day that, well, maybe not the whole thing. It's been such an interesting day. I might just re-up. Let's get one more.
Nice. So,
Well, yeah, we'll reveal the questions, I guess.
Here's what we got. So the first question they wrote down. So we left them while they wrote, and then they came through. They wrote, the first one was, how do you achieve true happiness and joy? The second one was, who's your daddy? And number 3, how do I find fulfilling work? So that all 3 worthy of thought, at least.
Yeah,
if
if you want
not,
to mention something, I haven't asked this to anyone else. I mean, I guess either Brooks posed the question to me or I did to Brooks, one of the two, whoever it was, and whatever it was. Brooks didn't say anything about life after death. And notice something, these 2 people didn't either.
whoa.
I mean, that's 2 out of 7 billion, but
Even more now. I think it's closer to 7.5 now.
yeah.
Not to nitpick,
no,
but I'm
I
just
know.
saying it's pretty interesting. But they think there's a limit on. They think it'll cap out about 9.
Okay. I see.
Interestingly enough.
Well, I'm gonna propose this to you. What do you think about exploring one of these right now to finish the last
I like it. Let's do
2.5
it.
minutes? Which one? Here, let's think about which one we do.
I know what I think already.
I think so too.
I'd be surprised if we're thinking the same one.
We're gonna say 1, 2, or 3
Okay.
on 3.
1, 2, 3, 2.
Oh, 2.
I was gonna say 2. I mean, I was pretty sure you weren't gonna think it, but I just like the idea of how we approach it because it's like a very open. It's tough to do.
do it then.
But no,
Let's
let's do
do it.
yours. Let's do yours.
Sure.
Yeah, yours is more fulfilling. How do I find fulfilling work? Is better.
All right, so how do you find fulfilling work, folks? My first question I have: are there types of work that are unfulfilling, even if you like them?
Nice. So you're saying,
If you like something,
Yeah.
no matter what it is.
right?
I mean, let's go to the
That's
extent
a
of
great
murder.
question. That's a great question. Or even like, let's say you work at a fast food restaurant and you're like just flipping burgers. If you love it, is that fulfilling? What is fulfilling? Or do you have to be, doing something that would be seen or fulfilling a personal thing? I guess it depends on how you define it. Just if it's personal fulfillment versus
Yeah.
societal.
And if your work was being a thief and you loved it,
Just absolutely loved it, and you felt fulfilled. You could feel fulfilled.
then it is fulfilled. So is that a problem with the question? Is this or
Well,
is that just a loophole? That's kind of just like a weird.
probably
loophole.
just a loophole that most people wouldn't.
Go
I'd say most
into.
people won't be flipping burgers feeling fulfilled, or at least not long term. Most people have better plans, ideally, and if they don't, they might not feel fulfilled. I think most people.
Well, I don't even know about better. I mean, I don't know, guys, because I don't really.
It's true. It's what you like, I guess. However,
Yeah, I really
there are
think it can be.
objective measures of it. I mean,
Would the objective measure of fulfilling be how many people you were helping?
that's one of them. But I think it just depends on. I think fulfilling. I think it's going to come down to.
I think it's personal. I think it's
personal
You have
versus.
to-
Like.
I think
ahead.
finding self-knowledge, like finding things out about yourself, is oftentimes one of the more difficult things to do in life. So this is one of those questions where you really might have to sit down for 3 days and not talk and just think to yourself. Think about what really your goals are, what you're trying to do, what you want to be remembered for, what you leave behind. I don't know.
Well, it's interesting because we're at 9:40. Oh boy. Well, what I'll leave with is it's interesting because we were wondering what would happen if everyone or if you thought for 1 hour a day. No research, nothing. Just think. That's it. What's gonna happen? It's tough.